Hi everyone, Lewis here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a preview of the 1.7.7 patch for the DayZ Origins mod. So this is undoubtedly the biggest patch that has ever been for the DayZ Origins mod, or for pretty much any DayZ mod that there is out there for that matter. It's a very, very big patch. And you're probably wondering what is inside that patch. Well, originally I thought that I was just going to be focusing on a few things in the mod, but from what I've seen after playing the mod for about 1 or 2 hours today, it actually pretty much improves every single thing about the original DayZ mod and also the DayZ Origins mod. So we've done improvements on the base building. I'll talk about that in a bit. We've got a lot of really cool and new gameplay devices. There's been some pretty big improvements of player interaction. So when you scroll, you actually have an option to surrender, which drops all of your weapons on the floor and puts your hands behind your head, which is just a lot easier than how it used to be. And in a lot of situations where you die otherwise, you could instead surrender, talk to them, and it might be a more interesting result. There are also bullets for your crossbow, which you can use on players to make them pass out, again adding to the player interaction. Instead of shooting someone, you can make them pass out, and then you're able to tie them up if you've got the rope in your inventory, and it gets used when you actually, use it on a player. You then also got EpiPen darts, which you can then use to wake up the player again, talk to them, interrogate them, do whatever the hell you want with them. They can also then use the knife to get out of that, and without going into a stupid amount of detail, basically, there's a lot of really cool stuff being added to the newest patch, whether it be weapons, skins, story elements, or additions to the base building. And hopefully, I should be able to show you guys a decent amount of the stuff which you can expect to find in the patch in this video. Along with all of those additions to the mod itself, there's also actually been an entirely new island added to the DayZ Origins map. Of course, originally it was just Taviana with the Sector B in the top right, but now in the top left of the map, we've got, like I said, an entirely new island called Novistrana. It's been built from the ground up for DayZ, which is the first time that's ever been done. There hasn't been a map or even a segment for a map in this case which has been built from the ground up for DayZ, so it's definitely going to show off when I do show you guys the island a bit more. But you can see it's a decent size on the map itself. It connects to a western island on the northern side. Just go along a bridge and boom, you're in Novistrana. Visually, it does look, of course, similar to the main part of Taviana, but there is a lot of differences with it, like the cracks in the roads. As a whole, it does look slightly different to the main island. You can't expect it to look radically different. It's not like it's going to have snow everywhere or something like that. But from what I've seen, about 90% of the buildings were enterable, which is really cool. It's something, of course, which is going to be an addition in the DayZ standalone. It's there for a reason, because, to be honest, close quarter combat situations in a game like this are really awesome. So you'll see a lot of the buildings which were previously not enterable, you are now able to walk into. And also, the loot spawns and origins are now dynamic. So say, for example, this building I'm in right now, you might see loot spawn in a certain location one time, but then you come back there again and it's in a different location again. Something which is going to be in DayZ standalone for a good reason, because it actually makes the players have to find their loot instead of just knowing where all the spawns are going to be every single time. And also they're placed in such a manner that, as you guys I'm sure have already seen in the video, they're in places that would be in real life, like on shelves, on beds, on actual areas of the interior, instead of like it is in original DayZ, but just chilling out on the floor, just waiting for people to pick them up. I did mention story briefly before, and you might be wondering, what the hell are you talking about, Lewis? Story in DayZ? Well, if you played DayZ Origins before, you'll know there's actually a storyline going along the entire thing, and this is no exception for 1.7.7. I don't know the entire story. In fact, I know pretty much none of the story, so I'm not going to be able to spoil anything, even if I did want to, which I probably don't. But I have been told there's some pretty scary stuff waiting for you in forests, and on top of that, when you're on the new island, you'll hear a lot of weird sounds, such as this one.
Oh, you hear that?
Those sounds are coming out of the dead forest. That sounds good. As a whole, the story on the new island seems to be mainly centered around horror, which is probably good for a game filled with zombies. I think originally when the game came out, zombies were a scary thing, but now they just look like complete idiots, just walking around, hitting you through walls, and all that kind of stuff. And it's cool to see that there is going to be a slight horror element, if not more than that. I really don't know, in the new patch as well. And another thing relating to the story, I don't know quite how this works, but you'll see in your inventory you've actually got a few other new accessories in your tool belt as well. One of them being the radio. You're able to right click on that and turn it on and off. I didn't manage to demonstrate this in the video itself, but basically with this aim, once you're near certain caches, which I'd imagine spawn randomly in the map, you'll get some kind of signal when you've got your radio on to show that you're getting closer. But basically, if you've got it in your inventory and you've got it turned on, then you will be able to find some loot which is extremely rare. What is some of the loot used for, you may ask? Well, it's pretty cool. And that pretty cool thing, I might just show you guys at the end of the video, who the hell knows. I didn't manage to demonstrate this in the video either, but you're now able to build stuff around your actual houses. So of course the normal house system is still there, the level 1, level 2, level 3 bandit, and level 1, level 2, level 3 hero, and you've then able to build the houses if you've got the correct humanity and the correct materials. But now you're actually able to get a vehicle, which I'll show you a screenshot of right here. I'm not sure if there's various different ones you can get, but you can drive this thing around and you're able to use it to build walls around your houses, or if you really want to, you can build those walls around a stronghold. Say for example you want a little tower, you can go ahead and build that using that vehicle right there, or say for example you want to build a little mud wall or a wooden wall. I haven't used it myself, so I don't know everything which you can build with it, but it's a really cool tool which you can use to build your base into something which you just couldn't do before. And also, speaking of strongholds, you're now able to customize your skin if you do have one of those. So say for example, you've got you and your buddies, you want to go out with the same skin, you can go ahead and equip it in a stronghold, go out and look like complete badasses, or if you just want to have completely different uniforms, but still a uniform which is exclusive to the strongholds to show that, oh look at me, I've got a bloody stronghold, you can go do that as well. In the background footage, you guys have been looking at Novistrana for quite a long time now, and you should be able to get a good idea by now why it's a cool idea to have a map actually created for DayZ. You can see it's overgrown, the city is no longer owned by petty little humans, but instead Mother Nature, and grass is coming through shit, and everything's blowing up, and there's a lot of buildings you can go in with bloodstains everywhere, and it's great. And now it's time for the surprise. So I haven't talked about this whatsoever in the video itself, but like I mentioned before, if you get the certain things from the crates or the care packages, not really sure what they are, around the map using the radio, which are super rare, then you are able to create a flying fortress. That's right, a flying fortress. Obviously, it is going to be a very endgame kind of vehicle, and from what I've heard, it's very hard to fly. But in this vehicle, you're actually able to shoot off the side of it with normal weapons. So say, for example, you want to throw a flare off it, you can even do that. I don't know why you would, but that's actually something someone did when we were playing. But you're able to, for example, snipe off the side of it. There are multiple seats for people to sit in. You're able to settle it down mid-air, so when you're able to access all of the stuff which you can do with it. You're able to suicide bomb with it if you really want to. It's big, so it'll probably have a big boom. It's a very endgame vehicle, which is going to take a lot of time and a lot of players to build together. But if you do get it, then of course you are going to be able to reap the rewards. And also with this thing, you might have noticed in my tool belt before, but you've actually got a towing cable, and with a towing cable you're able to tow things onto the vehicle itself. So there's nothing else you can tow with on this mod. There is a lot of mods like Overwatch, for example, where you can pretty much tow anything to anything. That's another exaggeration, but you get the idea. There's a lot more things to tow. But with this, you're able to tow certain vehicles onto the mothership, I guess you could see it as. But it's not a helicopter. That's what I called it originally when I saw it. It's like, whoa, that's a really cool helicopter, man. It's a bait. It's a flying fortress. It's extremely complex, but it's got 4 different engines. Obviously, if you shoot one of these engines out, it is going to affect its performance. It's got an alarm built into it, so if it's damaged, for example, it'll make an alarm sound. You'll have to land it, you'll have to repair it, or if you can't repair it, then your flying fortress is in a bit of trouble. You are able to hack into it and open it up somehow if you are an enemy. If you thought strongholds were rare and hard to build on normal servers, I guess this is probably a level up from that. Maybe it'll be easier to build when the game is fully released. It's not really too easy to tell since there's only a few people on a closed testing server right now. But it is going to be something which, if you do see, you should probably run away from, or you'll get shot at it like you can see right here. But anyway, I'm going to leave you guys on a high end showing you the beautiful flying fortresses, and hopefully you can imagine how long it's going to take you to build this thing. And if you're ever going to build it, or how many you're going to shoot down. I'd imagine shooting this thing down and watching it explode would be probably a rather fun thing to see. But anyway, DayZ Origins 1.7.7 should be out in about 2 weeks from now. Don't quote me on that, but it should be out super soon. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the features which are going to be in the patch I didn't even show you guys in the video. I'll definitely be continuing my series on it, assuming everyone else is up for it. I should be able to continue building the subscriber base, or maybe it won't be a subscriber base. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But either way, I should be able to get together with a bunch of people and start working on some pretty cool stuff. I haven't even shown you guys the strongholds yet in my series because we just kind of lost interest in it. So hopefully that should be something we can do when I do continue my series 3. And I have heard a lot of you guys saying, where's DayZ Origins, Lewis? Well, he'll be coming back for this. But anyway, tell me what you guys think of the update. I'm personally just really looking forward to using all these features on a live server. But thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the Floating Forest. next time. Probably not in a floating forest, but maybe.